Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It is Sunday, April 11th, 2021. I hope everybody had a good week last week. I may not stay on too long tonight. I might just kind of keep it shorter, keep it less, less number of readings, leave the list open, whatever, shorter period of time. I got my vaccine on Friday. It's the J&J one, so it's one and done. Yay. But I'm having a lot of side effects, so my stomach is really kind of not happy today. So I may not stay on that long. It is, if you do get the Johnson & Johnson, it is a thicker serum. So you'll hear a lot of people say they didn't feel the Pfizer or the Moderna, but the J&J is a thicker serum. So ask them to push it slowly so that it gives your tissue time to expand. It does hurt going in a lot, but my arm just feels a little bruised. It doesn't feel like when you get a tetanus shot and your arm is like real heavy and hurts for a few days. It's sort of like, so if you've had, have little kids and you've gotten them vaccinated, the MMR hurts a lot. So you always, like when I was a nurse and I was giving a whole bunch of vaccines, the MMR I would put on one leg by itself if I was doing like a 2 vaccine. So I would do 1 on each side, or 3. Actually, there's a combo where you can do 3 at a time. I would do 1 in the MMR by itself. Or the Gardasil hurts a lot. So it's kind of like that. It hurts. It's thick. Or I think it's gentamicin that you mix. Like when you give it IM, it's an antibiotic. You mix it with Lido because it hurts a lot. So it's one of those that just, it hurts. But my arm doesn't hurt for days and days. It just feels sore at the site, like a little bruise. Fatigue, muscle aches. I don't know if I had any fevers just because I've been taking ibuprofen kind of around the clock for the muscle aches. And then I got the stomach upset. So they say that with the vaccines, if you've had COVID, potentially, my screen looks dirty and I don't have anything to wipe it with. Hang on. I find this little cloth. Hang on, I have this little cloth here. Let me just, okay, sorry. I was going to say, if you've had COVID, they say your side effects can be more severe because it's like getting a booster. And then also women tend to have more side effects than men because apparently the immune response is located on the X chromosome. So women have 2 X chromosomes. It's why women tend to have our autoimmune diseases are more prevalent with women than men. And also it has to do with so the age range, because estrogen amplifies the side effects where testosterone may kind of dampen them. This is what I read in some article and I didn't even check to see, but anyway, whatever, just telling you, giving you a heads up because that's the way I am. Not a whole lot going on. My mom's here. Went to the Bronx Zoo yesterday. Weather was lovely. It's rainy today. I hope everybody else is well. So do y'all want to get started? Patricia, are you ready? I've just been, again, doing more manifesting stuff. And I had this realization. I don't know if any of you have ever had dreams like this. Maybe you call them lucid dreams. I don't know. But ever since I was little, I always had dreams where like one of them was I would be at like the school playground. And it would be similar to one of the schools I went to. I went to a lot of different schools. I think I went to 2 different elementary schools, 2 different middle schools, 1 high school. And I'd like pick up money all over the ground. Like I was always finding money. And then I had several recurring dreams where I know if I go in the parking lot, I can pick if I'm trying to get away, I can pick whatever car I want and I'll just be able to get away and I'll have like keys for it. And it's like literally whatever car I feel like driving. And so I was like thinking, well, maybe like that was the early way that my guides were trying to show me that like sort of with manifesting, you can kind of pick and choose and have what you want. Hi, Allie. Okay, I'll check. Patricia, I wanted to know if it's in my best interest to abandon my apartment and just go to Vancouver next month. Why don't I do it like, oh, my stomach. Why don't I do it like, if that happens, what will happen? Okay, so when you ask that, like when I'm like, you know how like when you just leave an apartment and you leave a lease, I don't know what it is in Canada, like how they work things contractually or whatever, but I can tell you from renting apartments in the United States, it feels like I get hit twice. So it feels like I might have to pay 2 months rent or something like that. So maybe there's 2 months left on your Your lease, I don't know, but I feel like I get hit twice if I do that. It feels like I will be okay, but it feels like I do get hit, like, so maybe 2 months rent twice. Um, do you have 2 months left in your lease? Sorry, my stomach is really, really not happy. I'm drinking some peppermint tea. I took some medicine. I'm hoping it means like, right? So then, oh, I'm also hoping because I've read a lot of anecdotal things where some people have said that they've gotten their smell back in a couple weeks after having it. So I'm like really, really hoping, even though it's like the noxious scents and really who wants to smell all the stuff, but like I want to know that I want it to smell normal. Like I want things to smell normal and right again. Wait, what do you mean you can sublet for 2 months? Oh, wait, does the wait, what is so? Like, when you answer that way sometimes, because 'cause I'm rambling and there's a delay, so if you wouldn't mind just being a tiny bit more specific, I know it's a little more to type. I know you would just get up and go, but my question is with the lease, do you have 2 months l left on the lease? Happy Sunday, Isha. It's good to see you again. Also, Sandra, we haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you again too. I think you popped in a couple weeks ago and maybe you watch. I don't know. Unless you guys say hello, I don't know who's watching or what's going on there. You're on a month to month, but 2 months notice. Okay, so I feel like you get hit for 2 months, so then that's where it is. Um, but I feel like financially you would be okay. And I feel like when you get there, it takes about a month to get like on your feet. So a month to get a job, something like that, or a month to like, um, because I do feel like I'm pretty sure you said you're retired, but I still feel like I'm working a little bit. Like, so some people retire and then have a job that they just do just to have something to do. Like my mom's retired, but she still teaches piano. Um, I mean, I don't know why I keep getting bookstore, and I feel like I've said this to you before, but it's like maybe you work at a bookstore for fun, like a little local, like I don't know. It just feels like we're working somewhere, just doing something just to have something to do, have a little bit of extra pocket change. You're not financially. You're in the accounting field. Um, it doesn't feel like I'm doing something. Wait, are you retired? Oh, my stomach. Hi, Emily. You are retired. So it doesn't feel like I'm doing accounting. It feels like I literally am like, well, I like reading books, so I'm gonna work in a bookstore. It doesn't like, it just feels like doing something to do something and have a little bit of money coming in. Because I don't feel like I need, it feels like supplemental versus being, this has to be it. You know what I mean? I do feel like a lot of anxiety and stress with you. Do you leave your window? Like, I feel like your apartment that you're in now is like not very bright or well lit. Like, I kind of keep the windows closed a little. You need to drink more water. I'm feeling really dizzy. This isn't from the COVID. It's not from the vaccine. Apartment is dark. Can you open your windows and get some fresh air and fresh light in there? I just feel like energetically that would really help you. It's not going to stop the move or anything like that. I feel like you would be okay if you moved. I feel like it would take you a little bit to get on your feet, and it may be that maybe your landlord gives you like time to pay it off, or as KK said, have somebody sublet it for 2 months. It's funny, I asked, could she do Airbnb? Like, and they're like, no, that would not fly. But I feel like you'll be okay if you decide to do that. It wouldn't be an issue, but it does feel like a month before I kind of get on my feet and there, like feel settled in Vancouver. Vancouver's supposed to be very pretty. Ottawa's dead. I don't know much about Canada. I have a friend, a good friend from high school that lives up there with his wife. And I knew some Canadian hockey players in college. They didn't necessarily follow the whole Canadian. Well, they were hockey players, so like we'll just give them that. If you've known hockey players. And then I know KK. KK's Canadian. KK's a dear. She follows the Canadian kindness. So then, like, look, I'm always, Patricia said that energy is pulling her out of Ottawa fast. Listen, I am huge about teaching you guys to really trust your intuition. I think everybody has it. And I love helping people grow in their ability to trust their intuition and like connect in. And when I'm mentoring and teaching you, I'm teaching you how to read, not because I necessarily think you're going to become readers, but because I think that you should be so comfortable with it and trusting in it that you could give a reading if you wanted to. So if you feel that, like, that's your guides talking to you, like, and if you don't want them actually talking to you, because that's what they do, they kick you in the pants to get you to listen, then start listening to it. But so what I feel is not, you should do this, or this is it. I will look at it like, because I will never tell you what you should do. I think that that's like not my position to do that. But I will tell you that if you do this, this is what I see happening. So getting hit for 2 months of rent, and then that's the 2 months notice, right? So you validated that for me, and then taking about a month to kind of get settled in there. So maybe it takes about a month to like, I move out there, take a couple days to find a place or whatever. I feel like you find a place easily right away. I feel like it's fairly close to the water. So I don't know exactly how this works out. It could be like someone's moving out. It's like all just like sort of, it feels like divine timing, everything sort of just falling into place. And then, a couple weeks to find a job. But I feel like you find something, it's not a big deal. This is weird. There may be a really good either burrito or empanada or taco place near there. And I don't know if that's like well known in Vancouver, but it just feels like, I don't know why I got something like almost like a burrito, like kind of like feeling like there's something really good like that nearby. Weird. But hey, sometimes they do that for me. Show me what's nearby. I got a really cool confirmation from a dear friend. So a lot of people will go, you can't read for your friends, can you? Or you know me, so you can't read for me. Oh, I can read for you. I can read for anybody. I can read for family members. I can read for anybody. It doesn't really matter. I could care less. I get information all the time. I pick and choose who I read for because some people will not receive the message, or they'll be total assholes if they don't hear what they want to hear. That said, I read for a dear friend of mine who I met in my light workers group, and she was worried trying to find a place, and like, am I going to find one? And she lives out here in New York. And I said, I remember saying that she would find it close to the area. Like she might be like, if she had an area blocked out in, I think she's in Queens. I don't know. I said it would be like 1 block right outside of it. Like it's just right outside, but it would still be within distance of like the subway and all of this stuff. Like, cause when you live in a city that you're on, you're on foot for it, like it really does matter where you're at, especially if you need to get on a subway or whatever, because you don't want to hike or to the grocery store. God, that can be a hike sometimes. So, and if you've ever lived in Manhattan, like leaving the island to go anywhere else, it's like, you're like, if you're from anywhere else, you're like, what? That's like no distance at all. But like once you live there, you're like, you don't have to leave to go anywhere else. So anyway, but she did. She validated like that's exactly what she found. She found one. It was literally like a block outside of where she was looking. It was everything, I think. So it just feels like whatever it is, there's like some kind of like, I don't know. Is there Mexican food in Vancouver? I have to imagine everybody likes Mexican, right? I'm a weirdo. Okay. You could try and separate. Listen, like I feel like you would actually be able to, at least even for a month, to help you out financially, or like 6 weeks or something. Like I feel like you get somebody for a little bit and then they continue the lease with the people after that. Sorry, I'm rambling about this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay, Sandra says, blessings to you, Annalisa. My question, when will the perfect partner make themselves known to me? Can we just get real about perfect? Oh, nobody's perfect. So we'll say, look, when you're doing these questions and you're answering things, language matters. So if I say perfect, they're gonna be like, never, because nobody's ever really perfect. So perfect for you, perfect for the moment, perfect for what you need. Have you been coughing lately? So I just felt real like, and I haven't been coughing. You're going to be able to get a play. It feels like I said, divine timing. So everything falls together like really beautifully. Like it's just stacks up. So within a month, you're sort of set up and good. And they said to me, put your feelers out now. But I literally feel like you get out there, everything literally falls together perfectly. I know you live in Arizona. I remember you. You've been coming and watching this for a long time. So I remember. It just felt like, I don't know, it's grass pollen season out here, allergies, I don't know. Hi, Laura. It's interesting. So they said the middle of June feels promising, but then I get this feeling of like you sort of, like you're focused on finding a partner, but then you're sort of kind of like, you've taken this mindset of, have you ever seen that meme? It's really cute, or it's like a little cartoon drawing thing, and it's a woman and a man, and the man's like, you're my entire world, and she's like, you're a part of my universe, right? So it's like, because I have my friends, I have my work, I have this, that are all different planets, and you're a planet in my universe, and you're important, but you're not my world. And it sort of feels like you've grown to take that stance. So it feels like June is promising, but I also feel like I'm not diving head in first to it and going to la la land like I might have, and been so obsessed with, is this going to work? Are they the one? Are we married? Even though that's the question you're asking, it still feels energetically I'm sort of in a different place. So it feels like I meet someone, it's promising, but I also not put the brakes on, but I sort of am driving in second gear. So, you're like, when you drive a 5-speed, you start in first, you go to second, and you just kind of hold, and you're just kind of going steady and easy. Like that's it. Like you're not rushing to get to fourth or fifth. Like you're, it's slow, but it feels like it's intentional and it's purposeful. It's not like they're the ones doing that. It's like, you're sort of like, I just want to see where this goes and how it goes, and being sort of, and it's not about that person being needy. It's sort of like, it feels like they're like a nice balance for you. It just feels like, and I feel like he's right around your age, or maybe just a couple of years younger. It just feels like you're intentionally like, I like this guy, but I'm not rushing to like see where it goes. How close are you to Tempe? Hello, Lightning Spark 100. I'll check in just a minute. So it doesn't feel far. Like, I guess I don't feel like Tempe is that far from Phoenix, is it? I don't know where you are. Oh, you might be. I feel like remembering. So start with a G. And I only remember because I have friends out there, so. All right, so KK, if we could add after Isha, Allie, Dulcie, and I'm guessing Lightning Spark is Julian for all for one question. You're near Phoenix. Okay. So it feels like whatever it is, it feels like within a 30-minute drive or so. It's not too bad. And then after Dulcie is Lightning Spark. As I said before, we might close up a little bit early today just because my stomach, as we'll see, it seems to be calming down a little bit. Sometimes it takes a moment to come through, Adriana. I'll check in a minute. As soon as I say that, my stomach starts to go, oh, I got it, Adriana. And Adriana. Don't laugh. I'm just, because I can read off of your pictures really easily. That's one thing I do during readings, like private readings. I'll just be like, if you have a picture available, not for you, but if I can't connect with a loved one that's crossed over. Oh, okay. Maybe. I just feel like it's not far. To me, a 30-minute drive is not really like a make or break situation. Even 45 minutes, hour. But I lived in Houston for a long time, and like you can drive an hour one way and still be in the city limits. So it's not really, I don't think that is being that big of a deal. But like out here in Jersey, I remember I was looking for an exotic vet, and then the one I found was like 25 minutes away. And someone's like, someone can find her one closer than that. And I was like, okay. Oh, this is on like a bunny board because I belong to bunny boards now. All right. Okay. Let's get going. Miss Devery, you wanted a general? Could you like and subscribe? Share me with your friends. Tell everybody about me. That's how they find out about me. I do not advertise anywhere. I am all about word of mouth, because when you find a reader and you want to know if they're the real deal, the best way to find a reader is through word of mouth, not a shingle or anything like that. And if anybody, by the way, if you ever go to anybody and you're like, oh, they're just $5, and they say you have a curse on you, run like the wind. Curses do not exist. They just want your money. And if they let you get a reading all the time, stop. They just want your money. I do turn people down. I do tell people they can't get readings very often. So I actually do read your energy before, like as you're contacting me, whether or not and that sort of determines when I offer my readings to you. I have made people wait a couple weeks. Because if you're in that mode of being like, oh my God, I have to have a reading right now, I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. Because what happens is you're so in your emotional state and panic state that you actually can't receive the information, and you miss the message. So I usually make you wait a little bit to calm down, and that's what I do. And I really, really don't do same day readings, because that's that same thing. Anybody who's like, can I have it now? I'm like, no. Adriana, I got the payment for Adriana. Thanks, KK. All right, Devery, let's go. General reading for you. Are you having an off day today? Because it made me feel like you're going to a darker place today. Like it feels like you've been doing okay, and then today you just feel real down. A lot of you, are you having allergy issues? I feel like Don't apologize, KK. Never ever. You didn't do anything that you didn't need to apologize for. KK is like the best, and I adore her, and she like shows up. She's so dependable. So I don't pay her. She does this out of the kindness and generosity of her own heart. So no apologies. Devry, are you having an okay day? Is this an off day for you? Can you just validate that for me? Are you here, Devry? No, this feels heavier than usual. It's a normal day. I just feel like energetically I'm lower today. I'm heavier today. It just feels like I actually feel like this is like a more of a hormonal thing. So it just feels like a little bit of a slump, and then within like a day or two, you'll kind of be okay. I also get the feeling like needing to get back on track. So needing to like go back to doing daily gratitude, daily affirmations, like, and it just feels like just do a little something, because I sort of feel like I'm just I'm needing to remind myself of the things that I have in my life that are okay or good. Did you just get your nails done or your toes done or something? Because I feel like I see fresh nail polish on toes. Again, random and weird, but sometimes these are the little things that validate that the other messages are something. Hi, Shar. You can donate. That's okay. Are you drinking enough water too? You're another one where I feel like I have a little bit of the shortness of the breath, and I also feel like just like almost like I'm getting fatigued easily with activity. Can you validate any of this? This is weird, but I feel like KK has a message for you. KK, do you have a message for Devry? It's your weight that has you out of breath. I have to say this, so don't take this the wrong way. My mom did this when she was here. She wasn't drinking enough water. She's like, I drank enough water. Not, you didn't say it that way, but she was like, I didn't drink enough water. I was like, Mom, you gotta pound that water. Like, she wasn't, and she was skipping every fourth beat because she was dehydrated. And because she was like, is my heart rate? I was like, you're dropping every fourth beat. Because I was like, you need to drink water. And then if you drink 32 ounces and then you're still not like whatever. So it just feels like some of us can think that we're drinking enough. I don't know. Maybe you are. So I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I keep drinking. It feels like you need to be drinking between 80 and 100 ounces of water a day, and you're not. So, and it just feels like out of breath is what they're showing me too. It just feels like, start, instead of focusing so much around like, when is all this other stuff coming in, really focus on yourself and focus on your health and your, doing the positive affirmations, going back to writing things about gratitude, about what you have and what's working for you. Did you get your toes done, or did you just paint your toes or your nails or something? A lot of people will think that they're drinking enough water because my mom's like, I'm drinking enough. I'm like, "Eh, no, there's something about this. So I don't know what it means. I don't know what the painting nails, painting toes thing is, why that's coming up. Take it or leave it. I don't know. That's just what I feel like is focusing on yourself, focusing on your health, needing to do that. That it's really important to shift from looking for everything to happen outside of you, looking for gratitude, and then focusing on yourself and kind of self improvements. Oh, you were just thinking about needing to raise the pulse every day? So maybe that was the message? Interesting. Um, I'm not really getting a whole lot other than that, Debbie, other than, like, self-care. I'm really focusing on doing all of that, getting kind of like as we start to, like, so in manifesting, they'll say, like, you'll see people write this a lot. The minute I decided, I stopped focusing on it, I was like, "F this, like, I'm not done waiting for this to come along," like, and I just started focusing on myself and building myself up and doing, self-affirmations, um, kinda healing myself, then everything else sort of started to fall into place. So it feels like they're kind of like get the focus off of like everything outside of you and like really focus on yourself. Um and then you asked something else, you had emailed me and I said, "Can you wait till Sunday?" It was something about money and I remember it feeling like it's going to come both ways. So I just want to add that. Whatever it is, it's going to come both ways. Um okay. I'm going to leave you with all of that. Danielle, you want to know about your cat? So what I felt like with your cat is it's a urinary tract issue. So this can be right. Your general, your urinary tract is going to be your kidneys, your ureters, and your bladder. And so it feels like I don't know if there's like calcium crystals or calcium deposits or something, but it feels like something's going on there that's actually causing like, which is a weird whatever, but I don't feel like it's a stomach issue. So it could be maybe needing to change the food so that there's less calcium in it so that they're not getting like little crystals or whatever, but it would definitely be something I would take your cat to the vet for, but I feel like it's going to end up being not like a stomach issue that you would think of or having a sensitive stomach. It feels like it's related to the kidneys, the ureters, or the bladder. So it might not be the food that's the issue. It may be something else. So it may be that, yeah, you've got him on sensitive food, but it's like something's in it that's causing, or he has another issue. So maybe he needs like a supplement where, but it just feels like related to the urinary tract, not the stomach. I don't think it's a hairball. So I agree with you. I don't feel like it's a hairball. I feel like it's again, something related to the kidneys, the bladder. Have they tested, have they done the blood test for the kidney? So the creatinine, urea, and BUN? Doesn't matter if he's urinating fine. It still feels like, again, I'm happy to be wrong. But if they haven't tested those things, that's where my intuition is telling me to look. So you asked, that's what I'm getting. um, that's what I feel. I'm happy to be wrong. And they're going to end up looking at his gut, but I literally feel like he's doing this because it's related to a kidney or urinary issue. So, and it just feels like it's I don't know. That's what I feel. So maybe you can research it and see if, like, do when cats have something in their genitourinary, their GU tract, do they sometimes throw up from whatever? Research it and see, and then maybe bring it as a possibility to the vet. Because I'm sure if you said, "Well, the psychic said," they'd go like, "What the hell?" But that's my feeling, is that literally it feels like it's not. Potentially, yeah, you could probably just see if because it's expensive. Like, I mean, Jesus, this was like over 10 years ago. My dog, they were like, "We want to do a blood pressure." I was like, "Sure." It was like $100 and they only got systolic. They don't even measure the diastolic. So I was like, "Well, that doesn't tell you shit anyway." So and then when they were like asked to do it again, I was like, "No." Because it gives you zero data. Like, no. Um, so potentially, yeah. And also try and catch a urine sample if they can get a urine sample. So that would be like, I don't know how you do that on a cat. Sorry. No idea. I know with a dog you can run around. Cats are cats. Um, yeah, I mean it's not cheap. So I would say probably see if they would check the do CBC creatinine bun, do a panel. It's going to be cheaper than that. Do you have pet insurance? I have pet insurance on my bunny because apparently, like, yeah, they have some sensitive stomachs. They're very sensitive and they can get blockages and all this like really easily. So I got pet insurance because vets charge you out the yin yang. Okay. So what I would do is, because this would be considered a pre-existing condition, just ask them if they would do the blood work. Probably wouldn't even necessarily need a CBC, just but just to see. But that's my sense, is that there's something going on there, or and then I figure out, I don't know if they have any tips for getting urine, but have the urine tested too. Like, but that's where it feels like to me. Maybe even liver, but I'm leaning more towards it being kidney, genitourinary tract. I'm happy to be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong and it's goes away and you don't even need to bother with any of this, but that's where I'm being pulled. All right, Miss Isha. Did you type your question? For some reason I thought you did, and then you didn't, maybe. All right, so Isha and Allie, you guys are up. I assumed you were seeing him. Hang on, I need to turn my heat up. I got a little cold again. I almost feel like no, it's not, but it's not that you're not going to give it a good try. It just feels like he's doing residency and then you go off to do med school, because I think you're doing med school, but you're like separated. So it just feels like not like both being so busy and not like schedules not matching up, that it just doesn't work out. Not because you are, it's just, that's just the way it is. It feels to me. Allie, you're up. I know you're not going to be alone forever. And I know it's hard when that, like, just enjoy it, enjoy your time. And well, you have kids, and how many? I feel like you will. And I'm leaning towards 3 actually. And no, I don't think it's triplets. And here's the thing, if you end up and you're like, I only have 2, she said I have 3, it's 3. I feel 3 pregnancies is what I feel. So, but I do feel I'm leaning towards 3 because it was like 3 right away. So I'd like to say it's 3 full term healthy babies, but people used to predict I'd have 4 kids. I consider my bunny a kid now, so I guess maybe I have 4. My bunny's the only one where I like, so when I clean her little, I call it her room. It's her exercise pen that's like, what is that, 4 feet by 2 feet. And I joke that like she's always like watching when I'm cleaning up and picking up, and I'm like, you're the only one I get to keep the room clean because my other kids are like everything everywhere. All right, Dulce, Lightning Spark, Adriana, or Adriana. I'm not sure which one it is. And then I will check and see if anybody else has paid. And if I get through these 3 and no one else has, then oh, hello. After I have Charlotte and Doa. With 2, it's DOAA. Oh. I don't think it's all girls or all boys. Oh, I think Dulce is Laura H. Sorry, I did it again. Doop, doop. Laura H, you're up. Let me double check. Yeah, Laura H, you're up. You're welcome. Oh, you didn't have to retract it. It's okay if there's a couple on there. Yeah, let's close the list since I'm not feeling great. I'd rather just rest. Is your new relationship coming? They said 3 months will be a change of direction. So maybe it's that like, you said a change of vision. So have you been working on like the self-concept and manifesting and like sort of those affirmations of like building up your self-esteem and oh, you want to get the kids a bunny because you want one. Oh, well, our bunny, I had to buy new gates, like taller ones, and like buy the TV, the little one, she was like jumping over the 18-inch one, clearing it. Like obviously she's a bunny, right? So clearing it, no problem. And she started chewing wires. So, which I thought I had bunny proofed it enough, but I didn't. And like my husband will, he'll stay up late and watch movies and like leave her out and then she'll chew stuff. And so we had to get a new cable box today because she chewed through that wire. So I bought a new gate. It finally came today. And like the newest gate I bought is like 3 feet tall, moved them around. And like, but yeah, we have to cordon off the corner because she's like, they say that they look at wires as being roots from trees and they think that they're going to try and overgrow. And there's like so many wires behind the TV. So she's like determined to organize that, clean it up, keep it from overgrowing. But she's extremely sweet. She's very sweet. She's very friendly. She loves it. She could sit all day long and be petted. She just is like a little love bun. You've worked on it a little bit. Okay. So the feeling I get is like in 3 months time, I sort of have like built that up. So whereas I may have been like, oh, I just need this, this, and this, where you sort of shift gears. And it's like if you're doing dating apps, right, you rework your profile, you rework everything, and you just completely give off this other energy where then you start to attract better quality men, higher caliber men, because you're not willing to just settle. Do you have a dog? I just got the smell of a dog. And like hot dog smells, not like a hot dog, but like when dogs go outside and then they come in and they just smell like hot dog. Like it's a smell. I joke that I love my bunny because she like cats and dogs smell to me. Like I grew up with them and I've had them as an adult, and like, I'm not cats, but I've had a dog as an adult. And they just get that, they have a smell. Bunnies don't have a smell. In fact, if bunnies get a smell, there's something wrong. Maybe he has a dog then, because I just smell this, like whoever you end up with has a dog, because I smell hot dog, like outside. Hot dog. A hot dog. Sorry. She does look after us. She's really sweet. She really is. She's a little love bun. It could be, maybe you meet him volunteering for animals. I just feel like there was like a dog smell. And it doesn't matter if the dog just had a bath. If they go back outside and it's like hot, it just stink. Just dog smell. I've never had a dog that didn't have that hot dog. It's like also like kids when they go play outside. There's like hot, sweaty kid smell. They just get a smell about them. Sorry. Oh. All right. Moving on. Enough said. Lightning Spark 100. If you want to go ahead and post your question. I like cats, but like I had a cat once and she was so pretty. She was a cross between a Siamese and a calico. So she had was a tricolor cat with the light colors like a Siamese. But every time I would go up the stairs at my mom lived in a townhouse that was had 2 stories. Every time I would go up the stairs, she would attack my ankles. She was kind of an asshole. And the one cat we had that wasn't, he was a tomcat, and we just called him Patio because he adopted us, and he would hang out on the patio, and he'd jump up on your lap and roll over for you to pet his belly like a dog. But he also would spray you because he wanted to mark you as his. So he was cool. I like cats. If someone has them, I'll pet them. I'm not a stingy whatever, but I don't know that I'd ever really want a cat again. Don't tell my kids. I like the bunny. All right. Lightning Spark, are you here? Are you here? There you are. How does Evelyn feel about me at the moment? I just want to look at what your actual given name is. Okay. It's funny, I have to say this. I feel like your screen name doesn't match your, you. Your screen name has, to me, I'm just going to go with this. This is not your reading. Don't worry, it won't take away from you. Your screen name has this anime, I don't know what, the little fighter character-y action. But when I feel your given name, it feels more thoughtful and empathetic and pensive, and it's very interesting. Does that make sense when I say that? Oh, you made it a long time ago. Yeah. It just feels like there's something more interesting about you than maybe what you put out there. I always think it's interesting. Watch when I did the free ones, when I used to do this for free, I'd see these people and if somebody was had their name as Baby, I'm cut that out. Change that name. Because I do believe that what we put out there matters, right? So I really thought a long time about what I would call my website, because I thought, somebody said you should do about fairies. I'm no, that's not a long haul thing. But I thought, people are kind of get kind of weird about I joke that I'm everybody's dirty little secret, because people are I don't want anybody to know I'm getting a reading, and which I get, because it's very you have to be very vulnerable when you come and get a private reading. You're really opening up your energy. And maybe you don't want everybody to know what you're getting a reading for, that you go to a psychic, whatever. There's all kinds of reasons why I could be someone's dirty little secret. And not dirty, really. I'm just kidding. But I thought, like, my spiritual friend sounds less woo-woo and more kind of approachable. And your friends told you you're very caring and wise. Yeah, I feel that about you. So it feels like very empathetic and very like thoughtful. And so it was just an interesting observation energetically, the difference. All right, so let's look at, now you want to know about, let me go back to the name, Evelyn. They said, I feel like she's interested, but she's also feels very introverted and shy and sort of, it's not leery of you, it's leery of making herself vulnerable. Is this a work like connection? Because it also feels like, you know, the saying, don't shit where you eat. It feels like not wanting to cross a line because what if it's not reciprocated? What if it doesn't work out? That kind of thing of being, she feels very like she has a good head on her shoulders. Ah, you met at work. Okay. And she has a really good head on her shoulders. So let's say, how about we ask it this way, but we haven't worked together since 2008. Doesn't matter. As long as you're telling it, like, as long as I get that like work connection, that sometimes that's a validation for me that there's a connection with work. So let's ask it this way then, because when we've been friends for a long time, sometimes, right? So let's say if you approach her and make it more romantic, how will she receive it? I actually feel like she's been waiting for you to do this. My sense is that she's actually manifesting you. Has she ever talked about dating around you and like sort of feeling like being more old fashioned, sort of like wanting men to make the next move? It's the feeling of like not liking the way people only text now. She like likes the idea of like, I don't know if it's like being swept off our feet, but just more romantic. Because that's my sense, is that she's sort of like doesn't like the way people date because she feels like it's not, you know, they say that with dating, like when you're dating, you're putting your best foot forward, right? And so like then it only just gets worse afterwards. So if someone's like barely putting an effort, imagine when they're in a relationship. It feels like she's ignoring you. I also ask it because she's messaged me 3 weeks ago and I replied back, but she hasn't responded back. She's talked to you about that before. Are you always waiting for her? Because I don't feel like I hate you or there's a problem. Are you kind of always waiting for her to? I don't know. Yes. Stop that. Stop waiting around. Look, the way I see it is, this is the friend part. This is not the psychic part. She hasn't talked to you in 3 weeks. If you don't put yourself out there, you never know. And the worst thing you can go is like look back and go, well, why? What if I would have tried? Maybe something would have happened. I mean, I got rejected by people. I put myself out there. It feels like shit, sort of like initially, but I will never look back at life and go, I wonder what would have happened if. So I don't know. I will take Venmo, but next week because I'm not feeling so great. So I just kind of want to end this and soon. And stop messaging, pick up the phone and call and make some plans. Stop messaging. Be more personal, make it special. Get brave. Stop waiting for her. Just call and say, like, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's hang out. Let's go do something. And then plan something nice. Don't be like Netflix and chill. Don't be lazy. Plan something nice. See, I'm not the only one who says that. Stop messaging. Put on your big boy pants. Be brave. Get yourself out there. Call her on the phone. Hey, I've been thinking about you. Listen, some of the nicest things are like the most simple things in the world. I've been thinking about you. I miss hanging out with you. Let's go do something. And then plan something. Don't go, what do you want to do? Oh, no. Plan something. See, KK says it too. Go out with her. Mm-hmm. There you go. See? Look at all these ladies telling you to do it. Just call her. Ask her on a real date. Like, don't be like, this is the date. Like, don't just be like, hey, I miss you. I miss hanging out with you. Let's go do something. And don't say, I don't know. What do you want to do? Don't leave it up to her. Just be like, I'll find something fun for us. Or here's an idea. Hey, I saw this, like, find something that's going on, even though it's kind of whatever. Or like, I don't know where you are. So I don't know what's open up where you're at, but find something outside to do. Be like, hey, I want to go do this. Come do this with me. I think we'd have a lot of fun doing this. And then we can grab a bite to eat. No need to get liquored up, but you could if you want. The worst thing is, though, if you're lazy about it, or if you're like, what do you want to do? Don't do that. Don't do that. Make the plan. Just make the plan. Say, I saw this. I thought you'd like to do this. You want to come do this with me? Or I'm really interested in doing this. I'd love if you came along. I really, I miss hanging out with you. Take the initiative. Don't be lazy about it, because lazy is like, again, when you're first dating and you want to make a good impression, that's like where you're putting your best foot forward. So if it's like that lazy half-ass foot, fuck that. That's my rule for all you ladies too. If a man is only putting a half-ass foot out, fuck that. Turn around. Someone better will come along. I promise. Don't need anybody to half-ass it. You're worth more just by simply being you. And what you're lucky about is you came on here and you were brave enough to ask a woman, and there's a lot of ladies on here. So, and this is not the psychic side. This is like a whole lot of women's advice. I accepted, and this is like for me, I accepted a lot of half-ass shit when I was younger. Don't accept half-ass shit. Trust me. Just don't. You can do it, lightning spark. You got it. Because you have a lightning spark, and also you just have this really like something else. And then you're going to come back next week and you don't even have to ask a question. You're going to be like, oh my God, and tell us what happened. We're all going to manifest. All of us are into manifesting. I think we are. KK and I are. We're going to manifest that you came back and told us she said yes, and you have plans and you're super duper excited. And you probably never say super duper, but I do. So I grew up with a lot of guy friends, and I listened to them telling me about these dating things, and I was always like rolling my eyes at the stupid shit that they did. And it's always interesting to me about what men think women want, or how they want to be treated, or blah, 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 blah. We're all telling you right now. Just, it's not that we want you to order our food for us, but if you're going to ask us on a date, make a plan, man. And you don't have to make it like all datey and weird. Just like, hey, I want to do this. Want to come hang out? I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my hair. It's like, I don't know. Sorry, random. We want you to make a plan. Don't make us decide. Don't order food for us. Open a door. It's so easy. Pay attention. Be observant. I don't know. It's easy. Okay. Is it Adriana or Adriana? So you can type or just A. A-H. You obviously, there is a connection there. Sometimes people get tired of being friend zoned. Just saying. First relationship, and I want to know if it's going to be with David or else. I feel we are going very slow, even though we are kind of going out. With an A-H. I like to pronounce people's names correctly. They're important. It's how people know you. Okay, Adriana. Okay. I just think it's important, and that is that. And I always accepted for a long time people mispronouncing my name and not being bold enough to correct them. So I correct people now. Like Adriana, Adriana. I guess it would be Adriana. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So Adriana. All right. Is it David? I don't feel excited about David. Like I feel, I'm not saying you don't like him. It just feels like almost settling or almost like, like comfortable, easy. And the conversation feels kind of, like I don't feel like he stimulates my brain very much. I dated a guy once who had like a PhD in physics from Harvard, and he was fucking boring. Like he was not very exciting, and he like he wouldn't even talk about smart things with me, and I was just like he and his friends started talking about combustible engines once, and I started like going off and talking about it, and they looked at me like they were shocked, and I'm like, well, if you'd ever talk about anything mentally stimulating, like he just feels kind of like, is he kind of And I'm not judging you. Trust me, I dated a whole lot of interesting folks, interesting men, and not so interesting men, and all at the same time. Does this resonate? Does this make sense when I say this? Like he just feels ho-hum to me. Like he's the kind of person to me that feels like okay going home, staying home all the time, and never like finding adventure in life. You're tired of not finding the one. Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. This is not psychic. Do not settle for someone just because they're there, because or because you think you're not going to find the one. First of all, there is no one. Let's be honest about that. There are many wonderful people out there that you can connect with. But if you settle, you'll regret it. So this is another situation. So I'm not going to tell you, I never tell anybody to break up. I never tell anybody to go for it. I never tell, well, sometimes I tell people to go for it. I told Lightning Strike to go for it. Just don't settle. Don't settle. Don't feel like, oh, there's no one else, so this is all that my opportunity is. It really feels like the best thing in the world for you is start looking up, researching manifesting, and research Neville Goddard. Manifesting research, go look up Roxy Talks. She's great. And look at like self-concept, self-affirmations, and really building up so that you understand where that idea is, that like, because there's some reason why you haven't been in a relationship. It's, there's something subconsciously there. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, but subconsciously we build these belief systems around relationships. They never work out. Men always cheat. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not whatever, insert enough, tall enough, short enough, skinny enough, built enough, big boobed enough, smart enough, like whatever enough, that fill in the blank. We build these subconscious belief systems, and it literally dictates what comes into our life. I'm a firm believer in manifesting and our thoughts creating our reality, and hindering the beauty that could be in life, and nourishing the beauty in our life. So it just feels like really building up self-concept. And so it's, look up the self-affirmations for self-concept. Roxy Talks has some nice ones where it's like, I'm smart enough, I'm, whatever enough. There are like tons of them. And the thing about manifesting is you don't do it like I will have or I am going to. It's I have it already, as if it already is. I am already these things. You are enough. You are wonderful. You are smart. You are kind. You are caring. You are healthy. Everything that you can think of. Even if you aren't already, you start to reprogram that old program that's been in there since we were little. Reprogram it, rewrite the code that's there, and it starts to beautify your whole life and your whole world. Everyone tells me I have high expectations. Fuck that. Who gives a shit what somebody else's belief system is? Have high expectations. Have high expectations. Don't fucking settle. I'm telling you, don't fucking settle. There is no such thing as high expectations. It is nice to have somebody interested in me. So it's like, I can get anyone. Someone said something, I don't even remember where I was listening to it. It might have been Roxy Talks. She has a YouTube thing on here. And she was kind of like, you ever see these women who are like not that good looking and they have these really hot men, and it's sort of like, or they're just like, they seem so, and it's like, where do they get that confidence? It's, you just have to start telling yourself you are these things. You are worth it. You are worth somebody wanting to make the effort. You are worth somebody putting in the work. You are worth somebody loving you and being interested in you, being honest with you, being kind and caring. And it isn't because you earned it. It's just because. That's it. Just because. There is no such thing as having too high of standards. Then you also need to look at the source and what is their belief system. I just need to have somebody. No, you don't. You need somebody who remember I said the thing about like You aren't my world. You're just a part of my universe. Thank you, Stephanie, because I'm like, fuck that. I hope other people enjoy listening too. I'm sorry about the language, but just don't settle. Don't settle. It's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Quality is important. So I get it. I know that feeling, but I'm telling you, having somebody just because they're I can handle it. You're going to spend years with them and then be like, oh my God, like, don't do that to yourself. Trust me, you will find the right one. It's also, so that's also a belief system in and of itself is I'll never find anyone. It's been so long. There's never, like you create that and then the universe goes, oh, you'll never find anyone? Okay. Nope, you won't. Yeah. And Stephanie's 100% right. If you listen to them, you do that. If you look outside of yourself to everybody else to tell you how a relationship's supposed to be or how you're supposed to feel or respond or react, you will be disappointed. You will end up feeling like, I wish I would have never done that. So what you need to do is dig deep, trust your intuition. Your intuition's telling you you're settling or, like I should have high expectations. I should feel good about myself. Start doing the affirmations, shifting the belief systems around relationships so figure out what is it that you believe about relationships. You believe that a good one doesn't exist, that I should just settle because I just want to be in one. Well, then that's what you get. Oh, thank you, Di. He will be worth the wait. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't settle. It's not worth it. All right. Charlotte and Doa, you guys ask your questions. Oh, Doa must be DI, I'm guessing. Don't lose hope. Really and truly. My first job ever was at a nursing home. And there was a woman there who went by Char. Apparently, I did not mop the floors the right way. She was like, you don't do it like that. You're not using enough muscle. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm running the mop over it with bleach and water. What else do you want? I think we use bleach and water. You go by D. Oh, okay. D. We had these terrible uniforms and they misordered mine. So instead of being like a McDonald's looking shirt, it was like a Wendy's looking shirt. So it was like puffy and it had like maroon and white and red stripes. It's fashion. And these like horrible polyester pants. It was all polyester. And I wore Vans and they held the smell of the dishwasher. Ugh. They were so gross. I worked in a nursing home. I liked the old people. They were really cute. And then I would have nightmares. So whenever I've had jobs, I'll have nightmares about when like I had a dream that I slept at the nursing home, nightmares that I worked at the nursing and I slept there and I slept underneath where they held the dishes. I still sometimes have nightmares about going back to nursing and they're like, and I've let my license lapse. I didn't keep it up and I could get it reinstated. It's not I just didn't renew it. But I have like nightmares that I'm working a full shift and like either I haven't checked a patient at all or they're going to figure out that I don't actually have my license and what the hell am I doing? I'm glad you listened in too, Rachel. Okay, so Char. Okay, well, everything go as planned with my dad getting me a car. I'm saving just in case he bails. Need it for school next semester. I feel like you end up going halvesies on it. So I don't feel like he bails completely, but maybe it feels like he ends up like he thought he would have more for it and it's just been a little rough. So he wants to still help, but can't do exactly what he wanted. Or it ends up being, so I feel like still save, it ends up being what he can afford. You maybe want something just a little bit more nicer or dependable. I don't feel like fancy schmancy, but I feel like something where I may not, may require less maintenance. So maybe I get like a certified used Civic or something like that, or sort of, like, because me personally, I feel like Hondas are extremely dependable cars. But my first car my dad bought was a total hoopty. It was an 86 Accord. Not the first car I ever, whatever. And it, like, the mechanic when I was in college was like, can you buy a new car? Because it was like, it was all rusted out. And then every other, like, but otherwise I think Hondas or whatever. But he was like, can you buy a new one? I was like, I'm charging this. I just need to get through nursing school. But otherwise, I mean, she started up great in Eau Claire winters. She had like the little pop-up lights, and you'd have to slam eventually like the left wouldn't pop up all the way. So I'd have to I'd start the car and then I'd have to slam my door so that the left light would pop up. Otherwise she was winking. And, but she always started like a charm. Like I never had a tough time rolling over. She just needed CV boots and transmission. She was old. Yeah, it feels like it feels like going halvesies for whatever reason. Like maybe you just want something just slightly nicer, or what you find that's dependable he can't quite afford. But I don't feel like he totally bails on you. So keep saving. Doa, you're up. You're Doa. D. Miss D, let's go. You're last, but certainly not least. Is Tim mad at me? I've reached out to him a few times, but never responded. I'm starting a bakery business on Etsy. I want to know if you see it being successful. Let me make sure that you paid all two. You did. Look at you. Okay. Toyotas are reliable. Look, I like reliable and dependable over. I had practical. I had a couple minivans, which minivans are not cool, but holy, they're like, you can pack in stuff when you have 3 kids so easy, but then they do not do well on hills in the winter. So my driveway has a pretty good incline on it. And the guy who did all the snow shoveling laughed at me because I would start in the middle of the cul-de-sac and get a good running start and fly up my driveway and then kind of steer it so it skidded into the garage. And he's like, I've never seen driving like that. And I thought, well, A, I learned to drive in Wisconsin. So you learn to drive on snow and ice. And B, I got to get my driveway somehow. But I have something different now that has 4-wheel drive because I couldn't handle it anymore. But I do like dependable, practical cars. I'll take that over fancy any day. Okay, sorry. Okay, D. Yeah. Okay, Tim. Is Tim mad at you? Reached out to him a few times, but he's not responded. Do you have stomach issues here, like either reflux or, I don't know, it just felt really and this is not from my vaccine. Or does he? You do. Okay. Just checking in the energy. I don't usually like to give such So Tim feels very emotionally unavailable to me. He also feels like literally what there was like, Tim's a dick. Which I hate to say things like that because I feel like it's so like low level energetically, but since they're being blunt about it, it just feels like he's not worth your time or the effort. I don't even know that it's like mad. It just feels like not enough to like. No, Maya, today I'm not taking any more donations. I'm ending it because I need a little bit of a break today. I got my vaccine on Friday. I'm still not feeling 100. So, but I will be back next Sunday. So if you come back next Sunday, I would be happy to do a reading for you then. If you subscribe to my website, I send out an email with a reminder and all the links and stuff, and you can pay early and get on the list early. Like, I don't necessarily feel mad. I just feel like doesn't think enough. Stop contacting him. Like, go no contact on is my advice. Stop contacting him. Because I don't feel like he has enough respect to be like, hey, I'm not interested or I'm busy. Like, he's not here enough to think about how his actions affect others. So, and completely emotionally unavailable. Like, he can't deal with his own emotions. So to even consider somebody else and what they're feeling is beyond him. And then your second question says, I'm starting a bakery business on Etsy and wanted to know if you see it being successful. I keep seeing little fondant cutouts. So are you starting with something like that? Like, I don't see full baked goods. I see like fondant cutouts. You're starting with cookies. Okay. So that would be like I was thinking like cupcakes and cakes, I guess. I don't know why. So I didn't see those, but I was seeing like little fondant cutouts. So maybe that's the cutout cookie. So I feel like it's definitely going to go slower than you think. And I feel like sort of getting lost in the sea a little bit. So it feels like what would help you is posting about it on local boards, local mom boards, local neighborhood boards, local business boards, things like that, to get your name out there, to help create more word of mouth kind of stuff, so that it helps pick up the business. I don't know that this will be a long-term thing for you, at least in this format of being on Etsy. Maybe you'll, once things are more opened up, you find a better way to like sell your stuff and get more business. Or I don't know, but it doesn't feel like it's the main way you get out there, but it just does feel like you need to find other outlets to get because it feels like, stuff on Etsy sometimes does get a little bit lost in there. Unless you're like super niche-y where you're like vegan, gluten-free, and 9 allergy-free cookie. Which I don't know how you do that, but maybe you use that's like soy nut, no soy, no nut, no milk, no egg, no honey because it's vegan. I'm kidding. They're going to be vegan. Okay. So they're sort of niche-y. But I would also then like, I almost feel like make sure you have a nut-free cookie too. Those sell well with like for school stuff. But make sure you're like, go on Facebook, go on different boards, and make sure you get yourself like it feels like you need to advertise other places, because otherwise you sort of get lost in the sea of Etsy baked goods. And then I feel like maybe you end up having like a little bakery or a little corner, or you sell your stuff to like like a restaurant who doesn't do the baked stuff, where you are like, oh, here, I'll have these on the side, or like a little deli or a little takeout thing, like where you have stuff. So it feels like that's not where you stay in Etsy. Like you may still keep it open because it does bring in some stuff, but it doesn't feel like that's the main place. And I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong, but that's just my feeling. So I'm going to leave you with that. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay well, be well, manifest your dreams. And I will see you guys next Sunday. Hopefully you'll show up, or you ladies, or y'all, even gender neutral. Hopefully you'll show up and be with me. Share me, tell your friends about me, tell everybody about me. And I hope you do well. Hi, Mary. Mary, I'll reach out to you. We'll figure out when to get you scheduled, okay? All right. Have a wonderful week. Talk to y'all soon. Bye. Thank you, KK.